What's happening, you guys? Alright, we are, today is Monday the 21st again, same day as the last vlog we did. Alright, it is in the afternoon though, 4:18 p.m. or so. We are heading eastbound on State Route 7 at the moment. After, I delivered in Temple, Texas, stopped over there at that Love's in Troy for a little bit. Got washed out, and then basically had something to eat, and then waited for a pre-plan, and thankfully didn't have to wait long because I hadn't even gotten back to my truck yet, and they'd sent me a pre-plan to come out here to pick up a load. Going to be picking up at the Tyson plant in Center. I've been to this place several times. I don't normally come in off this highway. Most of the time when I'm coming over this way, I'm either deadheading across from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, usually across I-20, and then work my way down, I can't remember that state route, over to US 59, I think it is. Or, no, I don't use 59. There's a couple of state routes over there. Or if I don't, I'm coming up from Houston. Anyway, so it's going to be a little bit of a variation from what you're seeing on the map there, as far as where to turn. Trucks are not allowed actually in downtown Center. So what we're going to have to do, there's a loop route that we can take around the town. It's a small town, but there's a loop route before we get to town that we're going to have to turn right onto and take it around, basically circle around over to the east side, and then come back in from the east. So that'll be the plan. It's not due for pickup until tomorrow, though. See, I ended up stopping in Nacogdoches at the TA over there. I was planning on calling it a day there because it's only like 35 mile drive or something like that from the TA in Nacogdoches to the Center. I figured, well, it's how likely is it that my load's going to be ready for pickup? And I also know that this facility has horrible cell service. If you're going to be sitting there waiting, good luck getting a cell signal, or if you do, it's going to be pretty weak. At least my past experiences is how it's been. So if I end up waiting, there's a better chance I'm going to want to bobtail up to like Carthage to one of the truck stops up there. There's at least some hint of a signal. May not even be great up there, but at least it's something. Shut up! I'm already in the other lane, stupid. Then you wonder why I don't like these stupid ass safety systems. It's like, yeah, I have a brain, I have eyes. I can look and see what's going on. Anyway, so now U-Haul's going to try to go back around me, huh? Doesn't have enough sense to just stay back, even though I got held up by that other guy. So, alright, now there he goes, speeding up. Now, even though I'm almost back up to 70, he's decided he wants to do more than the 64 or whatever it was he was doing earlier. Amazing. Always have to deal with that shit. Now watch, he's going to slow back down to less than my speed now that he's up in front of me. I'll bet you anything. Yeah, he's already down. What was the point of that? Now he's deciding to speed back up. Yeah. Take a little longer, dipshit. Fun times there, huh? Alright, so that's what's going on. Basically, we ran straight across. I'm running straight across State Route 7 all the way from I-35. Highway 7 hits 35, not far north of Temple, actually in between Temple and Waco. So, alright, so now we got some stuff we can talk about here. If you don't want to hear the story time or whatever, or the words of wisdom or whatever, you can always use the chapters that I usually have in there, so you can skip ahead to the pickup and pickup part or whatever, actually at the customer. Alright. Well, it's October. It's mid-October, getting into the actually later October, and starting to see some areas with snow. Flagstaff just got their first snowfall of the season that I know of a couple days ago. A few days ago, whatever it was. At least that's the first I'm aware of them getting it. And, well, what else? Winter weather driving. I'm not going to give a safety briefing on that, but I am going to do something else here. I'm going to give my take on the whole to chain or not to chain. Because most of the major carriers will preach they don't want their drivers chaining up at all, or if they do it only because you have to, and to get yourself out of a jam, get yourself to a safe spot and park until the conditions improve. Now, my thought on that is I don't like it. I like the way JCT did it, where they made it an optional thing, or they would not hold it against you whatsoever. If you want to go ahead and keep rolling and chain up, they trusted you to do your own thing, make your own decision on whether you want to chain up or not. If you feel safe doing it, knock yourself out. If you don't feel safe or comfortable doing it, then don't do it. They would support you regardless, either way. And but either way, like if you don't chain up, they would absolutely back you, and where like if you can't make the delivery on time because of the weather conditions, they would let the customer know still, hey, my driver is in mandatory chain conditions, and they don't feel safe doing it. And well, we want to make sure that we can get you your load safely. And if our driver can't be 100% certain that they can do it safely in given conditions, it's going to sit. And and then they get justification also to reschedule the delivery as well. I'll point out, I had experience chaining or cabling up my car a number of times before, because I like to go skiing, or at least it's been a while now. Been some years since I've gone skiing, but I used to love going skiing, and I would go anytime I could in the winter months. And most of the time, I usually didn't go during chain-up conditions, but there were some times where, I did have to chain up. And in fact, I had one time where I drove, I think it was a good 200 miles. I want to say that's how far it was from, might not have been that far, I don't know. From basically real close to Ridgecrest, California, all the way up to Mammoth Mountain, where I wanted to go skiing at Mammoth that weekend. And I had to drive for, it was a good 200 miles, something along that line, and with cables on the entire time. So I'm not a stranger to running with chains or cables. Now, also, when I ran a Walmart dedicated fleet, that fleet, they had a rule, they had a mandatory, if chains are required, you're chaining up. You can't be in this fleet if you don't want to chain. That's their rule. And it's like, it's not for the faint of heart, basically. So I'm not going to argue against anybody who has that philosophy that you don't chain up to get your, you don't intentionally run into chain requirement conditions if you don't need to, and you only put chains on long enough to get out of it. That's fine. If that's how you prefer to roll, that's knock yourself out. I'm not going to call you a pussy or anything else like that. All right, you have a right. You have a right to be concerned about your safety, and if you're not really certain or you're not comfortable in those conditions, and don't, But then again, how do you get confident driving in those conditions unless you're actually driving them? It's kind of like facing your fears. So there is that. Now, like I said, I've had to chain up several times in the truck. First time I ever did it was going up Vale Pass with Sierra England, and so I was planning on shutting down earlier. I was going across 70 eastbound, and I think this we're gonna have our turn coming up pretty soon here. So see, there's a sign right here. Well, that's hazmat. Hazmat must follow 96 or Loop 500. We're going to be taking Loop 500, I think is what you call it. Yeah, it'll be this turn coming right up where that tanker's at right now. Yeah, it is 500. Okay, anyway, though, I was trying to get basically as close as I could without having to chain up, and accidentally went too far. I was expecting, because there was a parking area at the mile marker, 133 or 113 or so. No, 113 is right there in right there by Glenwood Springs, Glenwood Canyon area. Might have been 133. I don't know. There's damn it, you stupid fridge. But there is there's a truck parking area right off the north side of, right off the westbound side of 70 over there. We'll just say not far from Glenwood Springs and Glenwood Canyon. Yeah, I thought about stopping there, but there are a couple of rest areas further down too, like Eagle. There's a rest area in Eagle. I was thinking about stopping. There's a couple others out that way. I was thinking, I can at least get to this area and then call it a day there. And then I realized I couldn't. I think the rest areas were closed or full or whatever. I'm like, well, shit. All right, we're doing it. And I get over there and get to the mandatory chain up point. I think at mile marker 184, if I remember correctly. And I ended up throwing the chains. Took a while because I wasn't proficient at it. It's different. Between when you're putting cables on a car versus putting chains on a truck. And if you've never chained up a truck, if you have the duals, because there's two types of chains that you can use. There's one that's there's duals, where it goes over both tires on the same axle, and then there's singles where it just goes on one of the tires. Now, if you have a 3-axle tractor, you don't have to have the duals generally. But you have to have one on every. It depends on the location and the requirement. But let's say in California, generally, even though they have max chain controls in effect, if you have a 3-axle tractor like I have, as long as you have at least one tire on each axle position chained up, and then a set of what you call one set of drag chains on the trailer, which is basically one on each side of the same axle on the trailer. You don't have to chain out both axles, just one on the trailer. That's what we call drag chains. And that is hang on, let me get my speed set right. Anyway, you don't have to have the duals. Now the duals are harder to install. They're heavier. And also, there's more to it because you got 3 different sections you have to link up instead of just 2. And so it's a little bit more complicated there. And it's not to mention, if you know the tricks of the trade, one of the tricks is to keep a 4x4 or some kind of a board. Preferably a 4x4 on the truck. Just keep it stowed over here in the B-pillar area or something. And then when, if you do have to chain up, because you don't need the duals, you can just use 3 sets of singles. two sets on the tractor and one set on the trailer. And if you have it set up like that, you can just put the 4x4s up in front of your inner tires, drive the tractor up onto the 4x4s, and then it'll bring your outer tires up into the air, and then you can just very easily install the signals, which the signals are already not that hard to put on anyway. It's, with anything, there's a little bit of nuance and tricks of the trade there. Once you get used to how to do it, it's not too bad. Yeah, it takes some time the first time you do it. Okay, this stop sign right up here, we're going to turn left at. Crap, I didn't even notice that. I forgot to change this. Anyway, I had to, because we're getting kind of short on time here. It's real close from here to the Tyson plant. Last time I played the waiting game, I had a 2-bagger. The first drop was in Reno. Second one was in, let's see. All right. Second one was in Roseville, California, which is right by Sacramento. Okay. They both were supposed to deliver the same day. Now, when I got into Reno, I knew that they had chain controls in effect going across Donner Pass, but I look at the weather. It was like nice and clear skies like right now. And like it's only a matter of time before they remove these chain restrictions. So when I got done with Reno, I went back over to the TA here in Sparks and waited it out. I later on figured out that was more of a mistake than anything, because, and my past experience too, when you chain up, nobody wants to be out there. So you only have the bare minimum of people even there, and generally, and most of the time when I'm out there with chains on, there's nobody to interact with. No other trucks or cars or whatever to interact with. You might interact with one. They're like, okay, the last time I chained up going across Donner, I had one truck and one car in the same area. And then I kind of outran them to get away from them. And then once I had my own space, then I settled into my own, my desired speed. Which, with chains on, you shouldn't be going more than 30, 35 miles. Ah, shit. I just missed my turn. Fuck. Hang on. God damn it. Missed. Fucking A. I can't move until this car goes by. I can't turn until this Cadillac moves. Okay, what are we doing? Are we lit? Okay. Shit. Yeah. It's like, I've been here before, but I'm used to it being on the other side of the fence. You're the one with the right-of-way. Don't sit and wait for me. Alright. Okay, yes, they have changed this, because the last time I came here, there was not a scale here on this side, and everybody came in over on that side. Alright, so we'll talk some more about that in a bit here. Alright guys, the process is a little bit different here. We're going to drop her empty over here. We used to always drop it back over here on the south, on the northeast end of the lot, but He wants me to drop it over here in this lot now. Let's see. Yeah, and it's not likely going to be ready till tomorrow, so we'll just go ahead and drop it here, and I'm going to probably bobtail up to Carthage. I'm going to double check what kind of signal I have, though. If I have good enough signal here, because maybe things have changed, I don't know. If I have good enough signal, I might go ahead and camp out here, though. No, that's parked like shit. I'm not parking next to that trailer. It's way too much risk of having an accident right there. This one looks like I might have one there. Yep. Don't know if there's room for me to set it up, though. See what we can do here. I don't know. Okay, pretty close there. I might have to do 4x4 here until I get my trailer where I want it. Actually, the trailer looks like it might be alright. Oh yeah. Actually, I got too much rotation. Okay, now we're all a little bit off, pointing right at the Stinson. Okay, now, alright, looks like we're hunky-dory there now. Get a little bit closer to that guy, and then we'll rotate it in. Alright, looks like we're really good over there on the... Go ahead and bring the front of the trailer over this way a little bit more. There's a little bit more room to work with there. Okay, we get it dropped in and we'll figure out what kind of signal I got here, and we'll figure out if we're going to stay here or bobtail up to Carthage. Alright guys, let's go ahead and disconnect from this here now, and actually it looks like I have a pretty good, pretty decent 4G signal right now, so they might have changed things here. Yeah, I have a pretty strong 4G connection though, so that being the case, I'm more apt to just go ahead and, I don't care, I got food and drink here on the truck. Got a local area businesses I can always walk to if I need to for anything. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and camp out here. See if the connection here is any better than it used to be. It sure does look like it. Surprise! All right, let me pull it up next to this other guy here. Alright, so that's it. Now, going back to that experience going across Donner Pass, at the time I didn't know that I could use singles on all of my axle positions on my tractor until a friend of mine who watches Okay, to a friend of mine who watches my channel, by the way, who I know through Sierra England, but he drives for, well, some of you guys know him. He drives for Walmart private fleet now. But, yeah, his name's Jonathan, and he was telling me, I think it was last year, something like that, that you don't have to have duals on your tractor. Only you need the duals if you only have a 2-axle tractor. So, like, well, shit, if that's the case, why am I even using it? Because I only had 3 sets of singles on the truck. So, yeah, I didn't. I thought I needed duals, and then I was part of the reason why I stayed in Sparks is like it's late in the season. You know, it's like March, April, whatever. It's almost where we're not going to get snow anymore anyway. Like, why would I end up spending $200 or whatever it is for a set of dual chains when I'm not going to use it again until next year, if at all? So I just said, screw it. I'm not going to buy it. And I just waited. Not to mention the weather conditions and past experience going across Donner told me it's not going to take long before they lift the restriction anyway. And sure enough, I was right, because it was like about a 40-mile long restriction when I first started looking, and then it shrunk down to like 30, and then the last part, it gets down to about 9 miles or so from, I want to say, like Nyack over to forget where on the other end, but yeah, Nyack Road is right over there just before you get to the brake check area, the mandatory brake check area, if you're heading westbound. And yeah, it's only about 9 miles, and then after, and then 9 mile section, once they lift that, it's there's no more chain restriction at all on the entire mountain, generally. So I just hung out there, and when they lifted the restriction, I think when I found out that I could just run Seagulls from Jonathan, I get rolling, and then I stop in at the checkpoint over there in Reno. I forget what mile marker. There's a truck parking area, or a rest area, truck parking area, whatever it is, in between the Spaghetti Bowl area of Reno and the California line. And during when there's chain restrictions, there's always a Caltrans guy there who you can check in with, and they'll tell you what the current restriction is. Like, when you get to a certain spot, put your chains on, and then this is what the current requirement is. Sometimes it's minimal, where it's only just one axle only on the tractor, and then one trailer axle, and that's it. Other times they want maximum, where it's all three, both, all tractor axles, well, not steer, but all of your drive axles on the tractor and the drags, and so it varies. So I check in with that guy, and he's just kind of thumb up on me, like, go ahead. But I stopped, and I wanted to confirm what Jonathan had told me and find out if it was true. And sure as shit, yeah, Jonathan was right. You don't have to have the doubles. So I went ahead and got and he said, yeah, it's still the restriction's still in effect, but by the time you get up there, it should be done. So I do that. And I get up there, and then to add the problem there's the lane closure right after the way station and the ag checkpoint up there. And on top of that, further down, there was a truck facing the wrong way on the westbound side that already had a wrecker hooked up to it and had him lifted up and everything, and was getting ready to start rolling with them soon. So both of those caused delays. They ended up being like a 2-hour-long delay trying to get through there. And, and part of that problem is also everybody's making their mad dash as soon as the restriction lifts, so they don't have to put chains on, get rolling. But now here's the other concern. Now you have all this traffic, and on top of that, you have roads that are still wet, might have some icy spots on them still, and you get to roll and interact with all that other traffic in those kind of conditions. Whereas if I'm putting chains on, I'm running at slower speed, I got the chains here. I mean, as long as you're not driving stupid, and you know how to react to condition, just in case. Because I'm not saying that I've had any experience with sliding out of control while in chains, but it can happen, and you got to know how to react to it, just in case. Hardly any. I've never had more than just a small amount of other traffic to interact with at the time, and I'd rather deal with that and have less chance of getting crashed into or having other people near me if I'm the one crashing, than to be in that mad dash of everybody, all that chaos now, and just one person slipping on, especially if they have the wrong kind of worn tires, and sliding out of control and then causing a chain reaction there. No thanks. I'd rather just throw the chains. and then I'm not going to sit there and wait if I don't need to. So there's the two different ways to look at it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and call this one, I guess, whenever the load's ready to go, which will probably be tomorrow. We'll continue this, but yeah, they got my number in there, but I'm expecting them to actually call me back. I'll have to check on it regularly, or maybe when my dispatch actually sends me a message saying, hey, we got email saying your load's ready, or something like that. Maybe that'll help. Anyway, all right, let's see. I'm going to watch Prime go in there and find out the hard way there's nowhere to drop his trailer. Anyway, all right, we'll continue this as soon as we can. All right, guys, we're ready to pick up our load now. It's a little bit late. It's right at noon right now. My drop dead time was about an hour ago. I first got notified by my dispatch that it was ready around 10:46 or something like that, but they just now got the bills over here at the guard shack. Yeah, and they called me a few minutes ago. I actually even went in and checked on it about 11:15, and they didn't have it yet. So, all right, this might be a fun time getting out of here with W&B working on what looks like one of our trailers, actually. Tango 91 something. That's a Hirschbach trailer number. Alright, let's read this one here. Now it's not the time. I'm busy. Okay, we get pre-tripped here, and then we'll head over to the guard shack. Well, we'll get checked out in a minute. Alright, guys, we're done pre-tripping here. Go ahead and get checked out. Plenty of room over on that side to work with. That's nice. So the guard said just go across the scale and then go park back, tail first, up in front of the shack. I don't know if it's really a heavy load. It's there's a decent amount of room, I'll say, in between the... I'm not going to make this turn here, so... Let's get turned... we'll get down this way and then turn around, and... maybe I can, hopefully get my tandems lined up a little more easily that way. Okay, let me go a little further down. I don't know that I'm going to have enough room to get turned around and get my tandems where I want them, so we'll come over here and see if we can get turned around here, and then my tandems will be further off in that direction, and it'll be easier for me to get the damn it, come on. I don't know. I don't trust that space there. I'm not going to make an unsafe turn. Are we all right? Kind of a weird arrangement there. Employees have to drive right across. All right, so why not? It's going to take a bit here. So my load gauge here on the truck says 31,000 pounds or so. Hold on. All right, now we're good. Okay, now the trailer also has a gauge on it. They have to stop, I don't, from what I'm seeing. So the trailer has a scale on it also, and it's coming in at like 21,000. So it sounds like it's a more front end heavy load. I'm kind of expecting a little more front end heavy though, because the last pallets are a pretty good distance in from the back of the trailer, so I can't be that heavy a load. I didn't take a look at what the weight was on the BOL. I signed for the bills. I don't have them yet though. I'll have to get across the scale, and that's probably why she didn't say anything about stopping on the scale. She just said go across the scale and then back up in front of the building. So, alright, anyway, I'm going to just go ahead and wrap this up, let you know where we're going. I'm just going to Springfield, Missouri. James, your neck of the woods, or one of your stomping grounds, whatever. I forget the name of the customer. I don't know that I've been to that customer before. I've really done very little in Springfield before anyway, so I will be vlogging that one where it's supposed to be a live unload. Yeah, and I don't know, I can't remember the name of the customer. I'll let you know who it is when I do that vlog for you guys, okay? Alright. Otherwise, I'm going to just go ahead and back it up like a dump truck. Come on now. Some of you guys know that one. And we'll get out of here. And I'll see you guys in Springfield, alright? You have a great day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later.